This is Founders Games Metaverse Rounds.
Welcome to the Founders Games.
The biggest growth stage challenge on the planet with $6 million award. The collective intelligence of 250 VC investors evaluated over 3,000 applications of growth stage companies. Only 60 made it to this third round.
Thrilled to be here. So great to be a part of Webital.
All of them are superheroes. They are saving the future of the humankind by generating social and environmental impact through their exponentially growing innovative businesses. Welcome to the better future. Founders Game starts now. Welcome to the last semi-final episode of Founders Games this season. It has been a true pleasure to host the Metaverse rounds and get to see the great ideas pitched in front of our jury on this very stage. Today, the winners of the e-commerce, robotics, mobility, fintech, and enterprise verticals will compete for the chance to reach the final round in Davos, where they can win a share of the $6 million award. Let's see if they can impress our jury members. Speaking of whom, here they come. Please, a round of applause for the Webital Investment Network Chairman and Founders Games Investor in Residence, Dr. Plamen Russev.
Very excited to see these semi-finalists and obviously to identify who of them will be with us in the finals in Davos during World Economic Forum.
Thank you, Plamen. I want to give a warm welcome to Steve Schlenker, an investor for over 30 years, co-founder of DN Capital, and a co-managing partner since the 2000. Hi Steve, can you tell us more about DN Capital?
Our fund is now 22 years old. We have multiple companies that we've grown from Series A stage to exits between $1 and $10 billion.
Thank you very much, Steve. And I want to give also a warm welcome to Christoph, who acts as an investment partner mainly for growth stage companies at Lakestar. Hi Christoph, it's nice seeing you here. Can you tell me the most important thing about Lakestar?
First of all, thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here. We have two funds, an early fund and a growth fund. We are a team of 60 people in 3 offices, 2 billion under management, 150 companies we have invested in so far.
Thank you, Christoph. And a warm welcome to Ali Karabey. He's a founding partner at Thu12. Hi Ali, can you tell us the most important thing about Thu12 VC?
We are the first fund to be established in Istanbul. We are the first fund to have its second fund in Istanbul. We are the ones who's hoping that its third fund to go after Eastern European markets in Turkey.
Thank you very much, Ali. And a true pleasure to welcome as well Theory. He's a director of open innovation and venturing a Swiss Post. Hi Theory, can you tell us more about Swiss Post Ventures?
We initiate and facilitate strategic collaboration between the business units and the startups. And I also invest in early stage startups in mobility, logistics, in supply chain, with tickets between 1 and 2 million euros in a portfolio of 15 startups.
Thank you all. This is the jury for today, and they have the hard task to choose our finalists. It's time to start the evaluation, but first let's see the rules. The jury shall evaluate the top 4 companies in this vertical and shall select a winner against 6 equally important criteria. 1. Business model scalability, market adoption and timing. 2. Uniqueness of the idea. 3. Team capacity. 4. Funding and financing. 5. Leadership and personal qualities. And 6. Impact factor. Is the company generating social and environmental change? Each criteria brings up to 10 points, so the maximum a company can get from each jury member is 60 points. Only 5 of the semi-finalists shall reach to the final round and win a share of a $6 million award. Let the Founders Games begin.
Participant number 1.
Let's see who is the founder getting ready to pitch backstage.
Hi everyone, it's great to be here. Thank you very much for having me. My name is Gaston. I'm co-founder and CEO of Pomelo.
Welcome to the Founders Games, The Stone.
Thank you very much.
Are you ready?
I'm ready, yeah.
We teleport you into our Metaverse and wait for your pitch. Pomelo is building a new generation and fully regional fintech infrastructure for Latin America. Pomelo offers modern technology, transparent pricing, and the ability to launch in 5 markets consisting of 450 million people in a matter of weeks. I will monitor your heart rate and your emotions and shall show them to everyone via this AI Founders monitor on the screen. You have 1 minute to pitch. Good luck.
60 seconds pitch starting now.
Hi everyone, my name is Gaston. I'm co-founder and CEO of Pomelo. It's great to be here. We are 3 founders with about 15 years of experience building fintech in Latin America. We are driven entrepreneurs, and we have previously built both the largest wallet in Latin America and a neobank with over 5 million customers. Pomelo is an answer to our biggest frustration over the years doing fintech in emerging markets, and more specifically, we're building completely new financial services infrastructure for emerging markets, starting with an issuing processor for Latin America. More specifically, we develop banking and issuing processing products to allow companies launch and scale throughout the region. Our business model is a combination of software as a service and transactional revenues, meaning that we secure recurrent revenues, but we also benefit from the upside and the volumes of our customers. And right now, our average contract size is about $100K per year. We started a little bit less than 2 years ago, and since then we have raised $63 million from great international funds, including Insight, Sequoia, Index, Monash, and many others.
60 seconds for shameless self-promotion are never enough, but it is time to answer questions from the investors.
Ready for Q&A.
How do you handle going cross-border in a region where there's varying rates of inflation? There are different initiatives like PIX in Brazil, where governments are trying to standardize in their own countries payment platforms, while at the same time, established neobanks like Nubank are trying to disintermediate partners such as yourself. How do you navigate the multi-country nature of your business?
Yeah, that's the most difficult part, and that's actually what we have identified as the largest pain point in our region throughout the years building fintech in Latin America. So in many ways, we're trying to level the playing field throughout Latin America, because at the end of the day, what happens is that the most successful companies are or want to be regional companies, and they want to expand from Brazil to Mexico to Colombia, despite all the differences in regulation and local nuances or market maturity.
Why does it make sense to really focus such a long time on the region? Because in the past for VCs, we haven't seen at the end a lot of really successful exits from companies who are really just focusing on the Latin region, and like Frontier Car Group or others. And I would love to know, is there a clear path to, okay, let's start with Latin market and then switch to other markets? Or is it a pure focus on the market? And tell me about how you see the exit markets and the success for these kind of dedicated approaches.
We believe there's massive opportunity in Africa, Asia, Middle East, and we are seeing more and more Latin American companies become companies for emerging markets or even global companies lately. Since we're less than 2 years old, we believe we must be focused in Latin America, in the short and medium run. Otherwise, we would, be lacking focus. We have seen and produced some amazing stories recently, all the way from Mercado Pago. One of my co-founders was there from the first day. It's over a $50 billion company, Nubank, of course. And we now have almost 20 decacorns in Latin America. So I think in recent years, we've started to produce more and more of these global success stories that, on the other hand, bring very good return to investors. And that's why we're grateful to have some of the best global investors in our cap table. They have shown a lot of interest in Latin America recently.
Which country is the most profitable market for you, actually, and why? And I was also wondering if you have different go-to-market strategy depending on the country.
So I'll start from the end. When we decide to tap into a new market, we start with a legal and regulatory roadmap. And only once we have a very clear understanding of how to enter that market and be fully compliant, we adapt our product, so our product roadmap kicks in, and then finally our sort of proper go-to-market strategy. As of today, Mexico is by far our most successful market, followed by Brazil and Colombia.
And the reason for that is that the amount of frustration that the Mexican players and the recently created unicorns have with the status quo and with the more traditional and historically bank-owned processors is massive. So that meant that we had a very, very good market fit from the beginning, and that's one of the reasons why we're doubling down in Mexico.
You're already working on the next rounds. What's the expected valuation and what will be the size of the round?
Yeah, so we ended up raising $53 million Series A broken into tranches. At this point in time, we have over 2 years worth of runway. So we are not actively raising at the moment. We believe we're better off by continuing to execute and raise the valuation.
The Q&A session is over and the best part is up to come. The moment of truth, with the direct feedback by the investors.
The moment of truth. Direct feedback from the jury.
So I think you present very well and you articulate the case clearly in terms of what the need for the opportunity is. I would focus a little bit more about the blended margin that you were talking about, and particularly giving comparables to other companies that have tried doing this in other geographies.
I like the team. I checked it. I like the traction. I like the investor space. So that's all good. I also see this kind of competitive landscape topic in the same way. So I think it's not, to be fair, it's not enough to show the competitive landscape in your region. I would love to see how you see the global landscape. And second, I think in terms of product, we haven't discussed the product at all. I know it's a 1-minute pitch, but I would love to see your passion in terms of defendability, what makes the product unique that was missing.
I'd be careful about the fundraising part. I think companies like yourself in the fintech space always need more money. Even if it's not fundraising, there are many other instruments. It could be debt, it could be some other synthetic stuff. So I would definitely keep that in mind and look out for those as well, which I'm sure you do.
I'm pretty much impressed by the strong growth you've been able to achieve. 50 million in Series A. It's also a big milestone. Congrats again.
Thanks to all jury members for the feedback and thank you for participating, Gaston. And now we'll show the anonymous scoring by one of the jury members. The final score is an average of the scores of all investors and shall be presented after the rest of the pitches. Thank you once again, Gaston.
Participant number 2.
Now let's see who is in the backstage.
Hi guys, my name is Cyril. Glad to be here. I'm a co-founder of Sherry.
Hello Cyril. Welcome to Founders Games. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
We teleport you into our Metaverse and wait for your pitch. Sherry is an e-commerce app helping small retailers in French-speaking Africa to procure inventory for their store and get delivered for free while benefiting from payment facilities. I will monitor your heart rate and your emotions and shall show them to everyone via this AI Founders monitor on the screen. You have 1 minute to pitch. Good luck.
60 seconds pitch starting now.
Hi everyone. Sherry is an e-commerce app with embedded fintech for retailers in French-speaking Africa. Our core business is FMCG trading. We're basically a wholesaler working with mom and pop shops across Africa. We are operating in Morocco, Ivory Coast, and Tunisia. We are trying to deepen the ecosystem and help the mom and pop shops to digitize their shops, helping them to increase their business through an app, allowing them to order FMCG products from us, and also with financial services and financial solutions that they can't reach because they are actually unbanked. At the moment, we provide them a B2B e-commerce platform with a credit book app, a wallet, and BNPL services. Charis is reaching around 9 million USD GMV per month, and we are working currently with 25,000 registered retailers, both in Morocco and Ivory Coast.
The 1 minute is over. Get ready to answer questions.
Ready for Q&A.
I have 2 questions. So one is, there's a lot of churn on the small business side and how you manage it. Because I think there's a need for this kind of operating system, but getting it at scale, a lot of companies struggle on the, let's say, hyperscale. So that's why give us some flavor about how you see the scaling.
Our company is 3 years old, and at the moment we manage to scale the operations. As you mentioned, the churn and using the app is quite the challenge we are facing with those kind of populations. We provide them with the app, but we are not letting them using it by themselves alone. We have a call center, we have ambassadors on the field, trying them to help them to get more digitized and to use properly the app. But as we can see, after a couple of months, the churn is getting lower and lower.
And CAC CLV, customer acquisition costs versus customer lifetime. So how long does it take to get the acquisition costs back? Is it below a year? So what?
Yes, it's really less than a year. It's about 2 months.
What is the CAC?
Well, it's about $12.
Okay, that's good. Thank you.
I'm wondering about your story. Why this business? Why not something else?
Well, I'm coming from the distribution and the FMCG world, but when I moved for personal reason to Africa and to Morocco, I met tech entrepreneurs, and we decided that there was a huge opportunity to help those small mom-and-pop shops around our homes to get more digitized.
Do you operate your own warehouses and transportation, or do you outsource some logistics processes?
Well, that's the main issue that we have in Africa. It really depends on not only the country, but also the city where we operate. Here in Morocco, we work with a major 3PL in the country. It's their warehouses, their trucks, but they operate with our logistics systems. But for example, in Ivory Coast, we have our own warehouse because we haven't found any 3PL.
How do you deal with the cash economy, and particularly managing to make sure that when your customers collect through the warehouse and they perhaps collect in cash, that the corporation knows that all the cash is properly accounted for and managed appropriately?
Well, that's a big issue of the geography where we work. You're right, it's a cash-based business, and we have huge process and also digital process to make sure that all the cash is coming back. And that's why also we would like to use the new license that we have to push the mom-and-pop shops to use digital transfer and not only cash to pay the FMCG products that are buying us.
How do you operate now? Do you have an open call?
Well, we don't burn any money for our core business. We are only burning money in investing in technology and financial services. That is our new business for us.
So you're basically now pivoting into a completely new business, which is the financial services. And if you compare those two, these are completely different. How do you expect those two to be?
I wouldn't call that pivoting, because we are adding a new business line. FMCG trading is still our core business, and we are expanding in new countries, new geographies, and that's now a job that we are, I would say, mastering. Embedded finance is more like a new business stream for us. So the money we are raising is to finance this new work, this new business, you're right.
Tough questions, but let's hear the feedback.
The moment of truth. Direct feedback from the jury.
It would probably be beneficial as you think about putting your next funding round to bring in any minority stake, a very small minority stake, someone who's been successful in a market like the US in a similar model in supporting e-commerce businesses, which will encourage the larger international investors to come into your cap table.
Yeah, I keep it short. I really like the approach, as I said, of the operating system for small businesses. I think it's all about execution here, execution on the growth.
From my side, I can also clearly see the value you can bring to the shops, and I like it, but I also think you are in a pretty quite challenging environment.
I like the way you execute. The challenge here is to really prove that the financial arm will work the way it should be in this market.
I think it's a great business. It's very impressive. I believe the unit economics will be the most important thing, which I'm sure a team of your seniority is well aware of. So 2023 will be a tough year, but not for the ones who can monitor and measure these things at a good level. So best of luck to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, investors, for your feedback. You can see the anonymous detailed scoring of one of our jury members. Thank you again. That was Cyril with Sherry, and we move to our next participant.
Participant number 3.
I wonder who is getting ready to pitch next. Let's find out.
Hi everybody, I'm George from Ariadne. Hi, welcome to be here.
Hi, Georgios. Welcome to the Founders Games. Are you ready?
Yes.
Fantastic. We teleport you to our Metaverse and wait for your pitch. Ariadne is a high-tech company with a global presence which provides physical organizations with comprehensive and detailed real-time customer and visitor analysis for the optimization of the operation of their stores and better customer service. I will monitor your heart rate and your emotions and shall show them to everyone via this AI Founders monitor on the screen. You have 1 minute to pitch. Good luck.
60 seconds pitch starting now.
Hi investors. Ariadne turns people flow into actionable insights. We assume that everybody gets a phone and we provide firmware that you can install in your existing hardware, like an access point. We can estimate the distance between your hardware and the phone. And by using multiple hardware in your space, we can pinpoint the location of the phone. As a result, we can share the precise location of every visitor. Through this, we can generate a very precise heat map, how the people are moving. We can integrate this solution, this information with your sales, so we can provide a funnel for the sales of each of your products. We can better position your products in space, and we can also communicate this with your visitors. All of this in accordance with the GDPR. We are competing, practically manually counting. We are competing loyalty cards, we are competing cameras and cellular towers, Wi-Fi providers and beacons. Our difference to the competition is that our solution is a bi-directional solution.
The 1 minute is over. Get ready to answer questions.
Ready for Q&A.
What is your average sales cycle?
We should expect a 9-month sales cycle. Very often we see a week.
Quite hard to predict if you have such a big difference between a week and 9 months.
It is so. I mean, enterprise sales, you should not expect smaller than 9 months. But we have our average sales cycle is 3 months, and we have seen even several times closing a deal in weeks, in just a few weeks.
How are you going to get the price point up from 28,000 per customer up to 100,000 a customer?
Indeed, we have a lot of space for upselling. So first, we can give you a heat map, and then we can bring your data next to this information, so we can leverage this information, and then we can do upselling. Most of our sales, we do them directly, and we are meeting our customers in expos. We have recently started organizing also webinars, so we have now enough followers that we can draw customers out of it. An expo would cost us 7,000 euro, and we will acquire a minimum of five customers per expo.
At the moment, you have customers from different industries like mall, retail, office spaces, airports, etc. So where is your current focus?
Yes, actually we focus a lot on retail because this is the highest ROI that we have measured. So retailers, large retailers with tens of thousands of square meters area, they use our system. We are not focusing so much on office space. We do not focus so much in secondary market. So we have customers, but we do not sell a different product. Our product has been optimized for retailers, and this involves large retailers or shopping centers.
I know you have many more questions to ask, but it's time for the feedback.
The moment of truth. Direct feedback from the jury.
Yeah, I think it's a great business, but it's also a very competitive business, right? There are quite a few startups who are going after the same potential. So congrats for the traction so far. I would love to hear how you differentiate yourself from the competitors.
Please allow me to disagree with you because I do not feel as that we have a lot of competitors. Indeed, there is a lot of companies, especially startups, that they do analysis with cameras, but they cannot provide this bidirectionality that we can provide. And there is then there is a lot of startups that they do application-based now, navigation, analytics, etc., which has 1 in 1,000 of the visitors that we can measure. So it's very easy for me to differentiate our company, and also it's very easy for us to protect our IP, because all the 4 key differentiations we have, they are patented and fully bulletproof. So we even negotiate with very large companies that can be considered competitors of ours for licensing this IP.
Yes, Georgios, you have won several quite big clients on different applications. Therefore, I think the demand for your solution is there on the market, but it looks you have not really monetized this customer pipeline.
Thank you.
I do think the bidirectionality gives a little bit of a uniqueness, which I appreciate. I don't think that really came across as much on the presentation side of things. You are hearing a message pretty consistently. Define your ICP, your unique customer profiles, so that you can justify why at 28,000 per customer, you'll be able to have repeat cycles so you can keep that 3-month sales cycle. Again, I think it sounds like you're doing that, but maybe not articulating that in this judging session. But otherwise, the business is a solid business, and congrats on the unit economics, which seem to be very attractive.
In terms of uniqueness of the product, so let's say after we asked you, we really got it. I think that should stay at the beginning, because I think that in terms of tech, there's really a kind of unique approach, but good business. Thanks.
I think it's a tough business. I think it's a great business, by the way, and the one who cracks this, not just the technology, but the growth part, right? The sales cycle, which you said you have a very good sales cycle. Net dollar retention, you are doing great there too. So if all those continue to be this great, I think this will be a great company.
Perfect.
I think the key word here is focus, right? And everyone used it in different ways. So focus, and this will most probably help you to monetize your client base, which obviously is a loyal one if you have such a low churn rate. So there is something missing, and we all try to identify it here for you. Hopefully it's going to help.
Thank you, jury members. Now let's see the anonymous scoring. And thank you, Georgios. It's time to meet the next participant.
Participant number 4.
Let's see who is backstage.
My name is Aaron. I'm the co-founder and CFO of Noyes Technologies. And after gaining 20 years in experience in manufacturing industries, we are now building the first very simple, easy to use, affordable and flexible warehouse solution.
Hello, Aaron. Welcome to the Founders Games. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
We teleport you into our Metaverse and wait for your pitch. Noyes Technologies is founded by BMW managers to revolutionize and simplify small warehouse automation in order to boost efficiency in the smallest spaces. I will monitor your heart rate and your emotions, and shall show them to everyone via this AI Founders monitor on the screen. You have 1 minute to pitch. Good luck.
60 seconds pitch starting now.
So we see that there is studies out there where they see there are unfilled jobs of more than 4 million by 2030, where they don't find the labor anymore. Either there's a need for an easy and modular and flexible solution, which we then build as a very flexible goods-to-person automation, which is just built out of 50 times 70 centimeter modules, and you can stack them however you want. And you have a really robotized warehouse where you get the goods to the person. For the first time, it's really maintenance-free because the robot is so light, and you can do an automated on and offboarding from the customer side. So we really don't need any installation or maintenance. We are already live. So we started 1.5 years ago. We have now our first installations. We have 24 bots in the field. We are going to increase them by end of next year to 600 bots, and we are doing already 1,000 retrievals a day right now and gaining the experience with the customers. We could save up to 30% in CO2 emissions, and we are also working on a cooling cooperation with Wissam where we are able to save up to 90% of the energy consumption of normal refrigeration solutions in the retail, for example.
60 seconds for shameless self-promotion are never enough, but it is time to answer questions from the investors.
Ready for Q&A.
have you been facing troubles in the supply chain? And do you see it as a risk?
I thought it was a risk beginning of the year. That's why I want to really see if we have any shortages in the material we see. We are now have secured 3,000 possible solutions that we can install from our suppliers. So we're really scalable for next year. And we have the commitment from all the suppliers that they are able to deliver it to us. And we actually little bit have the success that the automotive industry is taking less parts than they normally do, so that we have some capacity free and some plus suppliers we also talk to.
What is the use case you are most in favor for the next 12 months?
The SMB business doing the manual nano warehousing, which is a huge market at all, and they have to automate because they see the labor shortages, they have the disruption in the supply chain. How do you go to the SME and actually convince them that they need to go with the digital solution? Who is the buyer at the SME, and what's the pitch to that buyer? We actually right now have the best experience with family-owned SMEs, of course, because they are very fast in deciding the solution. So we have sales cycles of 1 or 2 weeks with some companies because the owner just saw the solution and hey, that's a perfect fit. I couldn't find any automation solution for now because they were much too expensive, much too huge. They weren't the flexibility. I always have a fixed point in my production line, for example. And I said, hey, that's the perfect fit. And for a price point of 70K, and it's also flexible and extendable, I can just try it out. I don't even need a consultant to design it for me. And that's how we approach them. We say,
why would anyone say no to something like this?
Well, the main pushback is just to give them the success stories we already have done with other customers, to see you're really saving 50% in walking process of your employees. You're getting much more efficient. Just can get the same space, you can get double of items stored. So if you want to increase your stock level, they are able to do it without extend the buildings you already have or the space you have. They don't even get the people anymore to doing this manual picking processes, walking through the aisles and finding the right products.
Who are your external sales partners, and in which region do they operate today?
We are focusing really on the German-speaking markets, so Switzerland would be a sweet spot as well, and going to the SMBs because we saw that they are, especially the family-owned and the smaller companies, they are able to decide pretty fast. So what our approach is to get down from a 12 months, 18 months sales cycle in automation solutions down to 12 weeks. And that we could really achieve with going into this family-owned and smaller companies.
The Q&A session is over and the best part is up to come. The moment of truth, with the direct feedback by the investors.
The moment of truth. Direct feedback from the jury.
This is a great market. We've been looking at it for a long time. We do have investments in supply chain optimization. But one thing I learned might be useful for you. Instead of cost savings, increasing revenue and enabling new venues of sales. Enabling sales is a better tool to sell more, I think, especially in the 2023. So I would recommend testing that as a sales strategy as well, if you would.
I like this kind of warehouse automation.
Yeah, I already see that you put them on your portfolio, Christoph.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we couldn't pitch in. No, jokes aside. So I like the approach. I think it's all about getting go-to-market up in a high speed because B2B customers are taking longer for innovation decision making. That's our learning. But I think you, with your background, how you presented it, I like the case.
I would encourage you to really focus on finding the partners who already have that sort of halo effect, that they're the experts in supply chain, and then getting them to be your selling partners where they get some of the implementation revenue and consulting services in exchange for you getting both the initial cost and maybe an ongoing maintenance and some software license revenue.
I hope only for you that you will be able to find a space on this very competitive and very crowded market, and that you will be able to scale because for such a resource-heavy business, scalability will be key to achieve profitability.
Thank you to Theory and all jury members for your feedback. That was Aaron with Noyes Technologies. And now we will show an anonymous scoring of one of the jury members. Thank you for participating, Aaron.
Participant number 5.
Let's see who is the participant backstage.
Hi, great to be at the Founders Games. It's a pleasure to present to our jury. I'm the founder and CEO of InoBat. I've been a clean tech entrepreneur and investor for the past 20 years.
Welcome, Marianne. Are you ready?
Excellent, I'm ready.
We teleport you into our Metaverse and wait for your pitch. InoBat is specializing in the pioneering research, development, manufacture, and provision of premium, innovative, and custom-designed electric batteries for a variety of sectors. I will monitor your heart rate and your emotions and shall show them to everyone via this AI Founders monitor on the screen. You have 1 minute to pitch. Good luck.
60 seconds, pitch starting now.
Hello investors, hello jury members. I'm the founder and CEO of InoBat. I set up actually InoBat 3 years ago. Was really to try to enable the changes that we see in your mobility. The current format of batteries is based on take it or leave it approach. What InoBat is trying to do is actually through customization, build bespoke chemistry that is actually targeted for very specific segments where we see very limited competition. We work very closely with the IP companies, R&D community, and we create alliances that we call cradle to cradle to actually target the entire value chain of batteries. So we can address, the R&D, cell development, to manufacturing, to recycling as a closed loop solution. Our clients range from eVTOL aviation companies like Ferrari, Lilium, to high performance vehicles, to actually commercial vehicle companies like buses. We're signing now 4 clients. It's over 2 billion euro contract value. We're actually the first European company that is now commissioning a pilot line outside of Bratislava, Slovakia, that combines the R&D, manufacturing and recycling in one location.
60 seconds for shameless self-promotion are never enough, but it is time to answer questions from the investors.
Ready for Q&A.
So what are the projections and the objectives for the coming years?
The last 12 months revenues are based on supplying prototype cells to the customers. Our pilot line with 45 megawatt hours will be operational in March. So we're gonna grow to revenues of 14 million euros next year, up to 30 million euros in 2024. And then once our gigafactory is operational, which we are now scaling up in Serbia in 2025, will be based on the contracts we have signed at billion euro plus revenue.
Talk to us a little bit about the implementation cycle after you win an account and how that ties into the achievement of the revenue targets. And particularly, do you have to front load costs?
We have a 12-month cell development program for which we are already collecting revenues. So, for the cell chemistry development, we are creating IP on the chemistry side and we're getting paid for it. And then as you deliver the sample cells and they passed actually all the certification tests, which we are now going through with the EASA in Europe, then it qualifies for the large offtakes where we have a pre-agreed minimum binding contracted volumes.
How would, let's say, at scale you get a guaranteed, let's say, hardware supply side management? And second is, as far as I understand you, so you are all at the moment doing, let's say, this kind of prototype deals, or where you are at the moment?
We are past the prototype stage. We've already developed 4 chemistries which are certified by the United Nations, with best performance safety tests. We actually supplied prototype cells for testing to our customers, which qualified us for the binding long-term offtake. The 4 offtakes that I mentioned are for 5 years and extendable for another 5 years. We believe going from competition to collaboration, we have EPC turnkey supplier, which is now delivering our pilot line. We have all the supply chain partners and investors like Rio Tinto, which are giving us access to lithium, the critical raw materials, and basically working with other mining companies on getting access to the other components.
Do you see any geopolitical challenges with your current partners in Serbia? And do you think that there might be challenges in the future?
Serbia is an interesting place. I keep getting this question. Serbs have a chance with the lithium that they discovered, which is the highest grade lithium in the world, 55,000 capacity a year. They can become Switzerland of Europe because they discovered oil, just like Abu Dhabi in the 50s, or they can remain where they are. And basically What we're seeing is, we're getting a massive support from the government that actually has offered us concession up to 419 million euros.
The Q&A session is over and the best part is up to come. The moment of truth, with the direct feedback by the investors.
The moment of truth. Direct feedback from the jury.
I think it's a great market, amazing problem that you are going after. It sounds very exciting. Hope you have a great success. I'm pretty sure financing will be, of utmost importance.
I liked your pitch. It was on the point. The answers to the questions were on the point. Really good. You mentioned the capital-heavy play you are in a market, in a macro environment where capital-heavy business is a bit tricky. I think that is something you should think about.
Love the ESG angle, the fact you're riding a positive wave with the European conversion to all electric vehicles. Be careful not to fall into the trap of what companies like E123 Systems did, where they became too dependent on a specific customer. You always variable price what you're doing and make sure that your NRE is covered, and then you don't put too many human resources to just one project.
One challenge, in my opinion, will still be the defensibility of the product, because you will have to face huge competition.
You've got some great backers, and you've managed to bring some good names on the cap table. I think that you're doing a great job. Congratulations.
That was Marin with InoBat. And now we will show an anonymous scoring by one of the investors. Thank you for participating, Marin. Talk about a nail-biting competition we've got on our hands in this here episode. It's like a heavyweight bout in the ring. And you know what's coming up right after we reveal today's results. We'll find out who's made it to the coveted finals this season. So let's not waste another second. Let's bring those talented founders back into the spotlight, because I've got a feeling they're just itching to find out their scores. Hold on to your seats. It's about to get exciting. First up, we have Wissam from Pomelo, setting the bar high with an impressive average score of 46 points. What a powerhouse! But can anyone surpass that? Let's find out. Next on the list is Cyril from Cherie, with a commendable average score of 41 points. Bravo, Cyril. You're making your mark. Moving right along with Georgios from Ariadne Maps, notching an average score of 37 points. The road to impressing our jury isn't easy, Georgios, but you've made it to the semifinals. Kudos. Just 1 point shy of claiming the top spot. We have Aaron from Noyes Technologies getting an outstanding average score of 45 points. A truly remarkable achievement, Aaron. Finally, the moment we've all been waiting for. It's time to reveal the average score of the last founder for the Metaverse rounds this season. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm thrilled to announce we have not one, but two winners this episode. Marion with InoBat has managed to match Carsten's average score of 46 points, meaning both of them, along with Aaron, have secured their well-deserved spots in the finals in Davos. A splendid feat indeed. Congratulations to all our incredible participants. But wait, don't leave just yet, because we're about to find out how they feel after this marvelous journey we've all been on together. Do you think they're happy with their participation and the jury's feedback? Let's see now.
I view it positively. I think they have identified the biggest pain points of scaling up in a nascent industry. Metaverse is like the internet of the 90s now. It's really at the heart of transformation, and I found them very sophisticated in grasping the story and the challenges, which is all about industrialization, scale, and for the viability of business. I found it very, very useful, that feedback.
I'm delighted. It's always very encouraging to hear it from such a great panel. I thought the jury today was tough, was sharp, was sincere, but that's all good. That's how we learn and how we improve. So I always value that very much. And I thought my peer founders were great as well, which helps level up the game. So you can tell that we were in a semifinals. And yeah, really looking forward to what's next for me or anyone else out here.
It was a great challenge, a great competition. I really enjoyed participating. Obviously, the juries, they know very well the business, and they were sharp. They had very interesting returns and questions about our businesses. I don't know what's going next for us, but it was really worth participating.
Very fair feedback, very high competition. I think that we are the smallest company that made it so far. So it's an honor already for us to be here. Very useful feedback in general, especially the recipe for unicorn status. I'm taking it and I'm implementing it immediately, and I hope that we will make it there.
It was great feedback, very valuable from all the different investors. It's always a challenge to pitch all the information in 1 minute. And of course, if the questions are not covering every point, then there might be a lack of information. But I think it's great to learn. It was a very valuable feedback, which brings us much further. And great companies we saw today with huge revenues. So I'm really amazed of what you guys are building as well. And it's great forward, actually. Thanks a lot for being part of it.
And thank you for being part of it, Aaron. What a season it has been indeed. We've witnessed the relentless pursuit of innovation and impact from entrepreneurs all over the world. After rigorous competition and 3 intense semi-final episodes, we have our 6 extraordinary finalists who will be advancing to the finals at Davos. We are grateful to the founders and jury members who made all this possible by sharing their time and dedication with us. And to our viewers, thank you for your unwavering support, for joining us in celebrating these game changers, and for believing in the power of entrepreneurship to make the world a better place.
That wraps up the Founders Games Metaverse rounds, everyone, and we hope you had a blast. Are you a founder of a scale-up that generates positive impact? Do you think you have what it takes to impress our jury members and best all competition? Apply for the next season at foundersgames.org. Until then, remember, the spirit of innovation never rests. Keep dreaming, keep creating, and keep changing the world.